Sindbad has brought a substantial goods for the trade. Substantial in the sense here, a very large amount of goods, or like whatever it is, sir. Substantial in the sense a very large amount, which is more than enough. So they brought certain goods to trade, and they all sailed in the ship. They got in the ship and they sailed in the ship, and that too with his merchant friends. With his merchant friends. So merchant friends and Sindbad, both of them, they started moving in a ship, and they all prayed to Allah to take care of them, and then they set off from their own place. So as they were traveling, they have come to an island. They did not reach their destination. They did not go to the place where they actually have to go, but now they reached an island. I know what is an island, right? We decided to go ashore. My friends went to gather fruits and flowers, but I took my food packet to a place in a shade. I had a very good meal and lay down to sleep under the trees. I don't know how long I slept, but when I woke up and looked out to sea, the ship had gone. I was all alone. So all these friends and all, like what they have done, when they came to the island and all, they got down from the island. So as they got down from the island, so people, they rushed to go out, and they tried to find some fruits and flowers and all. So they went in different directions. Whereas Sindbad, so he was very hungry at the time. So what he did, he went to the very nice tree and all, sat under its shade, and then he brought some food with him. He opened his food packet and started eating the food. So I think he had a very he had a very good meal at the time, and he was feeling very, very sleepy. So what he did, he just fell asleep. Okay, he fell asleep. So, and you don't know how much time he slept under the tree, shade of the tree, after a very nice meal. And when he got up, to his surprise, he saw that the ship has gone. The ship had already gone. The ship was not there. The sailor, the merchant friends and all, they got into the ship, and the ship sailed off from that particular place. Okay, so now he was completely all alone in that particular island. He doesn't have any friends to accompany him. So all the merchant friends had gone in the ship. So he was all alone in the ship, and he doesn't know what to do. He was not aware of what to do here. So I climbed up the top of a tall tree and looked over the island on all sides. In the distance, I could see something white and decided to find out what it was. So as he was looking here and there, he could not see anything. So what he did, he climbed up a very, very tall tree. He climbed up a very, very tall tree. So when he climbed up a tall tree and he looked all the sides, he just wanted to explore the island, what he can find in the particular island. And far away, what he can see is a white color, something which was there, a white color substance he was able to see there. So he could see something which is white over there, and now he wanted to find out what that white thing was. Okay, so he got down the tree. So he came to that particular white color one. So it was looking like a huge ball. Whatever the white thing is over there, it was looking like a huge ball here. And when the Sindbad was standing here and he touched it, and it was absolutely looking very smooth. It was very, very smooth. So it was very smooth. It was so high that I could not see the top of it. So this was very, very high. This was very, very high. He could not see the top of that white color thing. So he could not see the top of that. He could not see this top of this. So because it was very high, right? So you can see there it was really very high. And he just went around the white color thing like this, but he could not find any door. He was thinking that it was a kind of house, and he thought of climbing on it, but he wanted to climb it, but it was not possible because it was very, very, very smooth. So he could not climb that. And he was just standing over there. Suddenly, you know what happened? The sky, all of a sudden, the sky has completely become dark. The sky has completely become dark, as if something is covering it. Okay, for example, now if you're looking up and suddenly you cover your hand with you just cover your eyes with your hand. So what happens here? Everything becomes dark. That is, because you covered your eyes and all, you can't see anything. In the same way, something covered the sky. Something covered the sky, and you know what happened? He was not able. It completely became dark and all. Looking up, I saw the darkness was caused by the shadow of a huge bird that was flying towards me. So now he would just want to know the reason why, why this darkness is there, and why he was not able to see the light and all. He just looked up. He saw that was a shadow of a huge bird, a very extremely huge bird, and because of that huge bird, the shadow fell on the because it was covering the sun. So it was the shadow fell on the ground and it became very dark. And he when he looked at bird, suddenly he remembered something. Now what is that? I often heard sailors talk of a great and wonderful bird called as rock. This must be a rock, I thought, and this huge ball must be its egg. So when he saw that, he immediately recollected something. You know what is that? The sailors and all know, like when they sit together, they used to talk about a huge bird which is called as rock. And that was a wonderful and a very, very huge bird. And he thought that this bird which was flying here was a bird which is called as rock, and the white ball like thing which is over here is its egg. And that is the reason why this rock is coming towards the egg. And who's standing there at the egg? Sinbad is standing at the egg. So he thought that the bird came nearer and sat on its egg. So what the bird did, it just came nearer to the egg and sat on the egg. So I soon crept close to the egg. So what he did, he crept, right? He just crept, and he just came to the egg. Near me was one of the bird's egg legs, which was as big as a tree. So exactly to him, okay, there was a leg of that particular bird. This leg of the bird itself is as huge as a tree. It was as huge as a tree. So as there was a leg and all, so he just went near the leg. And you know what he did? He decided to, because he has to go out of that island. He doesn't have the ship, right? So if he has to go out of that island, there should be some source. Now he thought that this rock bird is a source for him. So you know what he did? He decided to tie himself to the leg of the bird. And he has a turban on his head, so he removed his turban, and using the turban he tied himself to the leg of the bird, okay, so that when it flies away, that bird also will carry this Sindbad out of this island. So with it, so at the daybreak, so when the day broke, and the bird, it flies so high into the sky, and within no time he was out of the sight of the island. So he was not able to see the island anymore. It just went and then now it started coming down to one particular place, and it came down so fast that I lost my sense. So when it was coming down, it was with a great speed that he lost his senses at the time. So when he came, the bird came to the ground, and immediately, what he did, he untied his turban, and the bird, it looked here and there, and it caught a snake, and then it flew away from that place. So the bird, it flew into the sky, it came down, and then it saw a bird, and it took the bird, and again it went away from there. And by the time he also untied the turban, and now this time when Sindbad, he looked around himself on all the sides. There were huge mountains, and these mountains are they reach in the clouds. He was able to see when he looked at the top of the mountains, it seemed that these all mountains and all, they reach in the cloud. That means they are very, very, very high. They're very, very high. So the sides of the valley looked so steep that there was no possibility of climbing them. So it was a kind of valley. With huge mountains, and now there was no chances for him to climb that, because the mountains are very, very huge, and there was no chances for Sindbad to climb them. And he looked around the valley, and you know what he found out? he found that there were so many diamonds lying on the ground. Okay, there were so many diamonds lying on the ground, and he was really very excited to see such kind of diamonds and the rich diamonds and all which were lying around him. And as he was looking, suddenly he looked something else which made him frightened. He was like, no, he was shaken with fear, because around the valley, what is the valley he fell in, that valley, there were huge serpents in the sense, some kind of anaconda kind of snakes. They were very huge serpents, and all these serpents are so huge that they can easily eat an elephant. These serpents are so huge that they can easily eat an elephant. Such a kind of serpents were there. So, was Sindbad able to set himself free from this island? Was he able to get away, save himself from the serpents and all? So, what he did? What about the diamonds and all? So, that is what we are going to see in tomorrow's session. So, until then, have a nice day. God bless you. Take care.